Let me tell you what's happening right now in one of the world's most vulnerable cities. This isn't some distant documentary or disaster movie plot. This is the reality unfolding in Tehran, the capital of a country that still claims nuclear power in the 21st century. Today, this historic city is facing the greatest crisis in its existence. People are gathering along the dry edges of empty reservoirs, praying for rain because the water in their homes has vanished. When they turn their taps, nothing comes out except a hollow breath of trapped air. Iran's capital has officially entered what experts call water bankruptcy. It's a moment where daily life entirely collapses. Even the city authorities have admitted their defeat. When President Masoud Pezeshkian addressed the nation last week, he didn't sound angry or defensive. He sounded resigned. His exact words said everything. We have no other choice. For the first time, the government openly acknowledged that Tehran cannot be saved. The water is gone. The ground beneath the city is sinking. And instead of planning a recovery, the regime is preparing the biggest population relocation proposal of modern times, moving the capital almost 1,000 kilometers south into the desert. They claim this is the only option left, effectively turning nearly 14 million people into refugees searching for water. To understand how Tehran reached this point, we need to talk about a destructive force that is usually dismissed under the label of climate change land subsidence. This isn't just about drought or low rainfall. The city is literally sinking, permanently dropping into the earth. Scientific studies and satellite data from the Center for Strategic and International Studies show Tehran is one of the fastest sinking cities on the planet in several districts. The ground is collapsing by 35 centimeters every single year. Think about that. No engineering can survive that. The small cracks on walls aren't cosmetic. They're warnings. The sudden fractures tearing through sidewalks are the earth itself saying, I can't hold you anymore. Experts call this irreversible compaction, and the irreversible part is the nightmare. Aquifers beneath the city used to work like cushions, supporting the land with water stored inside tiny pores. But decades of non-stop pumping sucked out every last drop, and once those underground spaces collapse under the weight of the city, they can't open back up. Even if Tehran received rainfall equal to a biblical flood, the water wouldn't seep into the ground again. The soil is dead. Its ability to store water is permanently gone. Scientific American confirms that the Tehran Basin's storage capacity has been destroyed forever. And this is only half the crisis. The danger isn't just that the ground is sinking, it's that different areas are sinking unevenly. One block might sink 35 centimeters, while the next sinks half of that. This uneven pressure snaps gas pipelines, warps subway tunnels, twists train tracks, and turns the city's underground network into a field of booby traps. That's why the president admitted they can't add more population to the city. The infrastructure isn't failing, it has already failed. Instead of fixing anything, the regime is running a global propaganda campaign, blaming climate change, but the truth is far darker. Experts say Tehran's disaster is the result of corruption. Firms connected to the Revolutionary Guards built hundreds of poorly designed dams just to cash in on contracts. They drilled thousands of illegal wells. They drained groundwater that was supposed to last for centuries. Iran has officially entered water bankruptcy, a condition where a nation consumes water that doesn't exist. When a company goes bankrupt, it closes, but when a capital city goes bankrupt, what happens? The answer is in the streets. People aren't queuing for food or luxury goods. We're spending huge amounts of money on plastic water tanks for their homes. Residents are waking up to day zero, a point where no one knows if water will come out of the taps. One woman told NBC News, "The pressure is so low, nothing comes out. We haven't bathed in days." Without water, cities unravel, hygiene breaks down, sewage backflows, old diseases like cholera and typhoid begin to return. And the worst part, this is just the beginning. When water disappears, law disappears with it. And what replaces it is brutality.
A new authority is rising inside Tehran. The water mafia. According to reports, the Revolutionary Guards now control both the dams and the water trucks. Water is no longer a basic right, it's a political weapon. Loyal neighborhoods get water. Opposing districts are punished with forced drought. This is hydrological dictatorship on the black market. A liter of clean water costs 10 times more than gasoline. Families are spending half their income just trying to survive. People steal from neighbors. Buildings guard their storage tanks. A society once shaped by compassion is turning into a battlefield of fear. Meanwhile, instead of real solutions, the government is firing chemicals into the sky, trying to force artificial rain, but without humidity. These efforts turn into toxic clouds, and as wetlands around Tehran dry out, toxic sediment and pollutants are lifted by the wind and blown directly into people's lungs. Millions are now breathing contaminated air every day. Doctors say the city is slowly suffocating. Residents aren't just fleeing drought, they're escaping poison. And that brings us back to the government's so-called solution, moving the capital to Makran, a $100 billion fantasy. With sanctions crushing the economy and the treasury nearly empty, there is no way this project will happen. This isn't a rescue plan. It's a survival plan for the elite. The ruling class will escape to a fortified desert enclave, leaving 14 million ordinary people behind under collapsing buildings. So what happens now? History tells us, when water disappears, people move, and that migration has already begun. Families are packing whatever they can and heading north toward Gilan and Mazandaran, some of the last green regions left, but those areas are already full. Locals are building barricades and even attacking incoming vehicles. Water scarcity is turning Iranians against Iranians. Housing prices are exploding, and the country is drifting toward internal conflict, unlike anything seen before. But the next phase is even bigger. Migration won't stop at Iran's northern provinces. Once those regions reach their limit, millions will start moving west toward Turkey. Experts warn that environmental displacement doesn't stay within borders. This won't be a migration of rural farmers. It will be professionals, the middle class, the educated population. Tehran's collapse is triggering a demographic shockwave that will reach Turkey, Europe, and beyond. The regime may think relocating the capital protects them, but it has sparked a chain reaction that could destabilize the entire region. Every neighborhood that runs out of water pushes Tehran one step closer to total collapse. Tehran's dry fountains symbolize something deeper, the end of an era. The revolution that claimed to defend the oppressed is now abandoning its own people to thirst. Moving the capital won't save Iran. It's the government burying itself while everyone else runs for survival. Nature has delivered the ultimate punishment. It has stripped the regime of the most fundamental resource, water. No government can rule a population that cannot drink. Tehran is falling, and the dust rising from the city is a warning to the entire world. History will remember this moment, not just for those who suffered, but for those who ignored it. Thank you for watching this report. If you want clear, direct, unfiltered analysis, make sure to subscribe. At PPR Global, we focus not only on what is happening, but on what comes next. I'll see you in the next episode.